Oh, the grandness of your being. Everybody is agreeing with me this morning. Let me put this over here because I want to, and I will actually move this cord because I want to show you how gorgeous my roses are right now. They're so nice. So regular I've got my regular roses here. David Austin's beautiful Evelyn, Molyneux, Carmagnole, Jude the Obscure, Soeur Emmanuel, and then over here, my gorgeous Persian roses. So we have Blush Damask, Botsaris, Triganta Petala. So you can imagine the smells are ridiculous in my house right now. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to unplug this until my phone tells me I've run out of battery. So hopefully that doesn't happen and I can be a little organized and sort it out before it actually happens. So how are you all? How is everybody? Right, I think I'm sorted. Maybe. We'll see. Okay, so here we are. November, Samhain in the north. For me, I'm enjoying the beauty of spring here. Thank you, the Wits of Nanu. Welcome. It's so nice to, just see the glory of my garden, Elnor Gardens, where I'm living. The bounty and abundance and the growth and creation in my gardens is just phenomenal, and I attribute that to several factors. And obviously we've had a lot of rain here. We've had so much rain, and it's unprecedented. I've never seen it rain so much since I have been here, since late 2017. It has never it has never rained so much. Can I just put this up here? Let me get that out the way. Can I do this? Oh, that damn cord's there. I'm just trying to get rid of that. Nope. Maybe. Are we good? Oh, it's a balancing act. If I drop, you know, I haven't balanced it very well. Maybe. Have I got a piece of blue tack? You know, in Australia we have this stuff called blue tack. This stuff, oh my God, would have to be one of my favorite items. And it's like soft plasticine, and it's just like you use it for anything. That is what it is for. You use it for anything. So you can stick it, like if you've got a to-do list, you can put a little piece of that on the back of the paper and stick it on your fridge. I love blue tack. It would have to be one of my favorite items, and I use it to balance my cameras and things. So you know what, it's kind of working where it is right now, so maybe I'll just leave it, and if it drops, well, I'll then use my blue tack. But like I was saying, it is so lovely right now out at my place, with the rain, with the conditioning, the months and months and months of constant work of preparing the land, conditioning the land, like conditioning the soil. And now it's just, I mean, if you follow me on, you know, predominantly my Elnor Gardens, that's where I post all my garden stuff. I'm not posting so much on Andalera at my Instagram. And so I'm posting a lot of my garden stuff, or all my garden stuff, not all of it, but obviously anything relating to my garden I post at Elnor. So you'll see how big my roses have got, and the growth that's happening here. And a couple of weeks ago, I got delivered a huge truckload of sawdust, and I have been madly putting that everywhere on certain selected beds throughout my gardens, just to prepare the gardens for, like, so conditioning the soil. Conditioning a soil takes months and months, and what you're doing by laying the sawdust is squashing the weed growth. And so basically, you just let nature take care of the rest. The microbial elements, all the microbes underneath the soil, because of the moisture of the sawdust on top, they're encouraged to come to that area, and they eat things and other little critters and microbes and whatever, and they cast, they drop their droppings, and that, revitalizes the soil and puts so many rich elements back in there. And so I've been laying this sawdust on this other one bed in the hopes that, because it is quite brittle, the sawdust will change the pH and really make it a beautiful soil. And I've seen from I just read a message from Tomboy about baking bread. Don't burn those raisins. I've seen from the past of what sawdust can do to a soil, and to have frogs in a pile of sawdust is very indicative of doing the right thing by nature. And I am surrounded by old-time farmers, using pesticides, and you can smell it in the air when they're spraying, and it is sickening. It is just, I feel sick. It's sick what they're using. And this is going so much against what Mother Nature, inherently is, and working in accordance with the earth. And so, if they had perhaps, instead of spending these thousands and thousands of dollars on pesticides, maybe spent the thousands and thousands of dollars on the sawdust and put it on their acres and let it sit and settle, that would kill the weeds, because they are predominantly doing this to kill the weeds in between the crops that they have. And the stuff is deadly. It's awful. You never see a kangaroo, you never see an animal in these crops, and that's why they eat it, they die. So anyway, I feel happy to see the fruits of my labor. I feel happy to hear the song of Mother Earth on my land, and this is the result. These gorgeous, stunning roses, and I'm out there every day. You should see the bird life, the butterflies, ants, bees, and even ladybug larvae. I bought those ladybugs in the last live stream. Well, they all flew off within 10 seconds of me putting them on the roses. They all flew off. But I will say, I have seen a lot of ladybug larvae, thanks to Tomboy for distinguishing for me what a ladybug larvae was, because I didn't actually know. So I have seen a lot of those little larvae critters around, and they are voracious with their appetite. So how is everyone? Beautiful people of the earth, wherever you are. I know there's a lot of things going on right now. I know you've got politics and political things happening in America. I know there's a lot of things going on in Europe. But the most important thing is you are living the life that you want to live for yourself. And I want to talk about the grandness of your being and how sovereign you are and your place in the world, and basically creating the destiny that you want to see. And I know, it's a constant thing for me to reiterate and go over and talk about, but you are the future. You are the future, and what you do now is inevitably sowing the seeds for your fate, for your destiny to come. So everything you do, every thought, every action, no matter how small, or big it is basically setting up the foundation for your future to come. And tell us about the situation. Where are you now? Well, you know, a lot of people know I'm in Australia. I'm in South Australia. So, you know, I feel lucky. I feel lucky. I said this earlier in the year that I feel so lucky to have got it right and to have established myself on land and to have the freedom. Like, you know, I feel like water freedom is going to be big things in the future. And I have said that, particularly water. And I just feel lucky that this amalgamation of me on the land has happened as it did. And hello from quarantine in Perth. Strange seeing you in the morning, as just arrived from UK. Oh, Nathan, I hope the quarantining goes very, very quickly for you. In Kosovo, they just announced that we are officially locked down only until Monday. Oh, good. Okay, so you can move around then after. These times are unprecedented, and I am absolutely, you know, my opinion about everything that's happening, I am just in the background and I am just observing. I'm fully aware of what's playing out, although I know, and I think most of you know, that there is so much more going on than what meets the eye. I don't want to get into what's going on. I don't want to get into what's being revealed, you know, all the things coming to the surface. What is most important to me is how we move forward in the future in creating the life we want to see. We all know we've been fucked over, basically. We all know we've been lied to. It's more important to start building and creating the foundations for the life you want to see. There's no use rehashing over and over and over and over the fact that there's been a lifetimes of deceit, lifetimes of lies. We already know that. So the most important thing is to basically create that life that you want to see. And whatever that is, that doesn't mean you have to garden like I am, but, you know, I want to live in accordance with Mother Earth. And I feel most attuned when I am living in accordance with Mother Earth and living in harmony with planet Earth. You know, I feel like one cannot do without the other. And whatever is happening, I see the theatrics and the orchestra of dramatics playing out in the world, and fantastic, you know, that's great if you want to be a part of that. But and obviously a lot of you have seen how my efforts are now being focused on nurturing the land and living in harmony with Mother Earth, because it can all be taken away so quickly from us. I experienced, I can't remember if I said this on the last live stream, because I think it was after that, the earthquake. Did I talk about the earthquake? I can't remember, but there was such a massive earthquake that happened at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I ran outside so damn quick, and I could see my stone walls shaking. And to hear the power of Mother Earth and to see it, I mean, really kind of puts things into perspective about, you know, what is most important in life. And so I feel like the most important thing in life is being a service to yourself and honoring your sovereignty as a human being of planet Earth, recognizing the intergalactic nature that surrounds us, our brothers and sisters of space that are forever watching and have always watched. However, there are rules and regulations to how much they can get involved with an evolving race, especially with a very aggressive race that is hell-bent on power and control and money. I mean, the impetus of our human race has been based on lies and deceit and control and fear. So, of course, it can only last for so long. And this time being such a transitional time of all these things now coming to the surface, I have said before, it's going to be more chaotic before it gets more peaceful. So hang on and get your ducks in a row. Get that land that you've always wanted. I didn't pay for this land outright. I can't afford that. So, I'm paying it off as I can afford. And another important factor is never going above your means. People might look at a barren, poor, sad looking block of land, but that has to be the richest thing. There's so many rich prospects within that soil of rejuvenation and healing the land. I know a lot of agronomists and a lot of botanists, people that are, they're kind of like the soil doctors. They buy this dilapidated, poison, decrepit land and they rejuvenate it and they create, just the most phenomenal gardens from it. And that's all it takes is a little bit of nurture, a little bit of love, and just being patient. There's a lot of patience involved. These flowers, they didn't come overnight. This has been careful nurturing for, I put these roses in last year and they survived a very hot, bruntish summer last year. My well dried up, and now, after careful nurturing and listening to them and feeling their energy, they are thriving. So I feel happy that I got over the first year, because it's a make or break year for any new plant, because you don't even know if it's acclimatizing to the environment. Thank you, Tomboy. So, do you know what I mean? Like, it's a process, and everybody wants everything right now, and quickly, and that's obvious to me. It's nobody wants to wait anymore. Nobody wants to enjoy the process of watching something grows. Everyone is in a mad rush to have it right now, and Mother Earth doesn't work like that. She needs a gentle nurturing, a consistent nurturing, and the nurturing phase and the patience, or the patience needed. It should be a lesson for us as well to slow down. What's the rush? You're not going anywhere. You're right here. So there is no rush. I have had a flat out week only because I had my final exams for microbiology. And I actually surprised myself with my assignment. I got a high distinction on my main big assignment. I don't know how I'm going to go with my exam, so I'm hoping the grade from my assignment, if I, really flunk at my exam, can kind of, hitch up my exam grade, because, you know how it is. If you're studying, you know what exams are like? They are so intense under pressure. And I must have had maybe 5 to 10 multiple choice questions, and that was it. I end up having, oh my gosh, like I had to write long answers for, it was like 20 questions, long answer. So, you're writing, well, I wasn't writing, but I was typing long answered questions in this exam. Oh my gosh. Oh, my brain was so frozen after that. And you've got a limited time to answer. You want to make sure you've answered things right and specifically what it's asking for. So the results from my exam are going to be questionable. But I feel like intuitively, I feel like I've got to pass. I'm passing microbiology, but I want to see the results. I actually feel like I did okay in the exam, but I mean, you may feel like that, but your results may show you a different thing. So, I'm finally glad to get that out, and now I can relax for a few weeks before I'm actually taking a core unit over the summer because I want to get it done. I'm doing statistics, and I know I'm going to die with it because I have no interest in statistics. It doesn't attract me at all, but it's a core unit, and you got to get it done. And I just want to get the damn thing out the way. I've put it off before, and yeah. Actually, my cousin Ronaldo, he is an absolute genius with statistics. He's 21, so I'm hoping if I am failing with statistics, he can help me with that. But I am studying at my own pace, and that's what I mean. You don't have to rush through anything, and I'm going at my own pace because I'm so busy here. My life here, Elmore Gardens, is taking up a lot of my time. I will say though, this week also, I have had, obviously, look at all my gorgeous roses. I have had an influx of rose petals, and I have been drying them, and I have made this beautiful night cream. It is the most simple, old-fashioned recipe for a hydrating night cream. It's a very heavy, a very heavy night cream for your face at night. So, and one of the main ingredients is grounded rose petals. So this cream that I'm making, it'll probably be available, I'm thinking, in a couple of weeks, in little 30-gram jars. And so, if anyone wants a nice rose smelling night cream for your face, it is grainy, but it's almost like a mask. But it's grainy for a reason. Like, it's grainy because of the rose petals, and there's so many fantastic properties of the rose hip, the rose petals. Roses are edible. If you've ever had cardamom and rose water in a cup of tea or coffee, oh my goodness. It's more so a Persian thing or a Middle Eastern thing, but it is gorgeous. Rose water in tea, it's so delicious. Rose water is used for insomniacs, for depression, it's just such a miracle, beautiful thing. So how can you go wrong with roses? And they're the most beautiful flower. Oh, goodness. So I hope people enjoy this rose cream just as much as I do, because it smells phenomenal. It's a beautiful smelling cream, and it just feels good to make natural, simple products, because in a world of, when you read the back of the ingredients of pure products and you see the things that are still in there, to me, in my mind, that's not pure. I like knowing it and understanding. I can understand what the written word product is, or the ingredients that are used. If I can't understand it, I don't necessarily want to use that. So I believe the most natural ingredients are the best. Things that you can understand, and not reading the big fancy words. So, so all these things kind of shift back into integrating with simplicity, with grounding, with taking care of yourself, a good, clean diet, a simple diet. Everything comes back to simplicity. Keeping your life simple, your diet simple, your mental thinking simple. I think you'll find the more you simplify your life, the more that will be revealed to you in terms of insights, in terms of knowing, your heart compass, and allowing yourself to attune to your frequency, your authentic frequency, more easily. So, when you get out of your own way, it's so easy for you to to know what it is that you want and to know who you are and what it is you do and don't want in your life. And that's another thing. If you are around people or things or jobs or situations that you are feeling are not serving you, you can part with that. There is nothing making you stay in a situation except for yourself. There is nobody else to blame but yourself at this point, because I think it's only adults watching this live stream, but there is no one else to blame but yourself for the way your life is turning out, good or bad. So if you are around people that undermine you and are not good to you, and the energy is not good, even if they're not, directly interacting with you, even if their energy is just chaotic and you don't want to be around that, well, then you remove yourself away from that, even if that's family. And that's tough, but if it's compromising your quality of life, why would you want to be around that? Do you know what I mean? So it all comes down to choice. And it can't be about money and, I don't have the money to move, or I don't have the money to do this or embark on this. There are so many other forms of abundance. Allow the universe to take care of it for you. But the more you think, I don't have this and I don't have that, the universe is only going to respond to that lack of, that discrepancy that you feel, is impinging on your destiny. So if you believe in the way the universe works, you will see how things will turn out. And of course, challenges have their purpose. Pain and chaos have their purpose because they show us what we don't want, and they can be our greatest teachers, as I have said. Hello, Ponderous Pros. So I'm going to try this time around to read the comments or cancel chat viewing options. No, okay, how do I, here we go. Did I do it? Oh, fantastic. All I have to do is put my finger on the screen and all the messages show up. How come I didn't do that before? Right, I'm going to go up the top and just say hello to everyone. Angry Bird says, yay, I manifested catching you live. I manifested you being here on my live stream. Hello, Monique. Greetings. Gorgeous. Yes, hello, the wits of Nanu. Crystal, finishing up work. Surprised to see you. It's autumn here and spring there. Yeah. Hello, Krista. Tomboy's here. Krista said, my dad farmed for years, but he never used pesticides. It is gross stuff, girl. 100%. Hi, Margaret. It's 21:05 here in the UK. Love your roses. Have you seen Mrs. Snake recently? We are in lockdown for 4 weeks. I actually haven't seen Violet. I have no doubt that Violet is around because the weather has been so good. But I have not seen Violet yet. But I don't know if you guys saw on my Elnor Gardens Instagram, I saw the biggest redback spider I have ever seen in my life. And of course, I've grown up around redback spiders. They are highly, highly venomous. They can kill people. And the one that I saw the other day in my garden, she was the biggest I have ever seen. I have never seen an abdomen as big. If I can make her abdomen with my blue tack, you see how handy this blue tack is? Her abdomen would have had to have been something like that. And redbacks usually maybe have not even an abdomen like that. Like that would be classed as a large abdomen for a redback. This was so big. I was so shocked. And she was inside a flower pot, and I lifted up another one that was inside this larger flower pot. Oh my gosh. And she was in the bottom. She wasn't happy because I had messed up her home. but she had obviously eaten her boyfriend because there was a skeleton of a smaller spider, and maybe she was pregnant. I don't know. I don't really know much about pregnancy and fertile redback spiders, but she was huge. Let's go up here. So Nathan, you are in quarantine? Good gosh. That's got to be challenging to be in a hotel room all that time. Hi Sarah. Thank you. No, I'm not originally from Iraq. I am born here in Australia. Thanks, Tomboy. Oh, kudos for studying so hard. I don't know if I'm studying hard. It feels a lot harder when I'm not enjoying it. Like, when I was doing the original teaching degree, I'm so glad I went back to microbiology because teaching is just, it was such a drag, and that was hard because it was so boring. It was so hard to get into. But I have really enjoyed doing microbiology, and it's so stimulating. Obviously, it's not for everybody, but it has been so eye-opening. Good morning, Gypsy from North Carolina. Thank you so much. ACH, so just listening to you calms my nerves. It feels like it's like free therapy. Oh, thank you. David says, hello from Brighton. Great to be online at the right time to see this. Great hug to you. Thank you. FA, hi Andalara. I'm a big fan from Saudi Arabia. Oh, shukran. Ponderous. Yes, many people don't know roses are in the same family as apples. Peaches, cherries, rose hips are delicious in tea and jam. One can make jelly with rose petals. I would try your cream. Thank you. Yes, you can do anything with roses. Roses are a non-toxic plant, and this was another huge factor for me living here. Is I didn't want any toxic plants. Not that they're not beautiful, but I've got chickens, and my chickens are eating a lot of things, and and even little kids or anyone that visits. I've got a lot of friends that have small kids, and they're running around and picking at things, and you pick at a leaf. Like, let's just say I had a foxglove here, and a foxglove is deadly. I mean, it can do irreparable damage to your liver. And so even if you pick at a leaf, let's just say a little kid came and picked at a foxglove leaf and got the sap or the juice on their fingers and then licked their fingers, I mean, they would be sick. It's a highly poisonous plant. So there are just some that I will not have. And I love foxglove. I think foxglove is one of the most gorgeous flowers and plants, but I would not have it here for a minute. So trying to have a place of non-toxic natives and non-natives. I got some beautiful Hardenbergia growing up on the stone wall, this beautiful delicate little purple flower. And outside here along my fence line, all my snow peas are blooming, and I have a stripy snow pea, which is two-tone, two different colors, and it's just stunning. It's so stunning, and the smell is. Has anyone ever smelled a sweet pea? Oh my gosh, it's just it's the most incredible scent, and so I hope to collect some seeds for that, and maybe I could sell some online. So, and you can also enjoy sweet peas. I'm not sure. We'll see. I don't know how much seed I will get from these. So that's important to me is non-toxic plants on my place. So in roses, like every part of them, I mean, you wouldn't want to eat the leaves, but the flowers are edible, and there's so many great properties of them, like eventually I have actually bought a little still, a little copper still. I want to experiment with making my own rose oil. Obviously, it's going to take a lot of buds and petals and flowers to make rose oil, but rose oil is so expensive to buy, and I would like to use my own from Elnor in my products. And in actual fact, I had a very serendipitous conversation with the owner of one of the largest rose farms in Australia, where I've bought most of my roses. We had a chance encounter, a chance conversation, a fantastic conversation, and he was telling me how he had already experimented with, obviously owning one of the biggest farms in Australia. He would have an influx of roses everywhere. He had told me he had experimented with making his own oil, and the different scents that different roses yield. He said it's phenomenal, and so it was fantastic to. He obviously knew how passionate I was about roses, having this conversation, and it was great. So so the oils, and then obviously the petals can be used for so many different things. Having petals on weddings and celebrations, you can make them from pot puree and put them in your sock drawer, your knickers drawer, your clothes, hang it up in your cupboard. And then also, you can ground it like I've done. I've grounded it to a fine powder and put it in things, So I've made this fantastic, well, I think it's fantastic, this fantastic night cream. And, you would almost use it like a mask. I've even used it like in the bath. I'll have my bath every night. I'll put it on in the bath, and then, I will wipe it off after, or go to bed with it on. And I mean, obviously it does soak into the skin. It's not like you've got an oily face, but because it's got shea butter in it, and it's got some other oils. It's got argan oil, and it's got raspberry seed oil in it, evening primrose, and it eventually soaks into the skin. So how can you go wrong with simple, beautiful ingredients, especially with rose petals? It's just stunning. They smell so good. Oh, they smell just... This is one of my favorites, Jude the Obscure. It's the most beautiful rose. I mean, they're all beautiful, but this is actually my climber, Albertine, and it's just the most stunning, delicate pink, peachy rose, and it's going berserk outside. So I have been mad staking everything and trying to decide how I'm going to arrange the growth of my roses, because they're growing so quick, and I kind of wasn't really prepared for this amount of growth, and I'm just like, holy shit, I've got to somehow arrange their growth pattern so I can kind of groom them, like kind of train them which direction to grow in. So I think what I'm going to do, instead of them growing out in a typical basket formation, I'm growing these roses Afghani style. So I'm going to be growing them straight up. And the reason I say Afghani is because in Afghanistan, a lot of the rose growers are growing them straight up, and they are as big as trees. And because they are so densely planted together, there's no room for them to grow out. I wouldn't be able to walk through them, so they have to go up. And I like that. I like having some height in the rose garden because it's private. And obviously a lot of you know that I love my privacy. So, and it's quite overwhelming. 2 acres of roses. Not that I've done 2 acres yet, but even this amount of what I've got now, just this flushing sprays of buds and buds and buds. I can't even imagine how 2 acres would be. So just concentrating on a section at a time. So conditioning the soil first, putting in irrigation. I've got irrigation in, but I've never once, well, I've used it once. I've used it once on the new roses, but I've barely used it, and we're in November. We're in November, and I've barely used the irrigation. I'm assuming I'll have to use it over the summer, but not too much. So, so setting up irrigation and then putting in the roses, and you know, hoping that they survive their first year. But because once they grow, their roots spread out so big and so far. So when you buy them, like if you buy them online, I don't know, like in America, or at least if you're in the UK, I'm so envious because you would have so many different David Austin roses, and I just love David Austin roses. When they pull them from the ground, their roots are, I mean, when you buy them as a bare root, they cut them to about that long. But when they are naturally in the ground, they just spread out so far, you know, like over a meter long. You know, so that's what's happening now. And on a metaphysical level, you got to remember that roses are communicating with each other. When you look at their auras, there are bubbles of energy feeding off one plant and into another. The communication network with their roots underneath, they would be all feeding, nurturing, and watering each other. I know it sounds crazy, but it's been proven that a plant that is struggling, the other plants will help it. So it's such a symbiotic, beautiful relationship, and there really is, what has become an insight for me, and what's been revealed to me, is there is no competition. There is no competition, even though to us it looks like there is competition between species. So you might see a plant and it's completely dominating over another. What's actually going on is that plant, the dying plant, the submissive, or the, would you call it a submissive plant? The submissive plant is giving its life force to the other one to grow. So it's a almost like a sacrifice to help the growing plant to grow. So even though we think it's you know, taking over, it's actually a very cooperative, symbiotic relationship. The only species on the planet that doesn't cooperate is us, and our animals have reflected that, because there is, I mean, animals don't know any better in the fact that they are, you know, they've got the survival mentality, and they are about survival of the species. But in many ways, on a metaphorical level, they are reflecting to us our own energies of competition, of aggression, really. And Klaus Schwab, the Great Reset. So that's what's happening in the animal world. It's a reflection of what's going on. How can they not see what's going on? It's very obvious. Whatever energy we are holding or whatever we're putting out is going to be reflected to us. Actually, a fantastic woman, and I love her work, I love watching her work, is Anna Breitenbach, the animal, call her animal whisperer, but she's an animal communicator, particularly with wild animals. And she explains how, you know, the reason why sharks are attacking, they're not attacking. The reason why humans get in trouble with sharks is that when a person goes into water, if they don't condition the way they're thinking, and if they are, like, you know, when people are swimming, or when they're, for example, when they're surfing, they've got a mentality of competing, of winning, of beating, you know. They are pushing that out into the water, and the animals are feeling that. So that kind of mentality will attract a shark to come and check things out, that curious energy. And when a human realizes they're in the territory of a shark, or a shark is around them, they panic. And so the shark will also panic. And it's not that they are hungry or they're after you, or, they will take a bite just to, because of a sensing mechanism, not so much that they're hungry, because they don't like humans. Apparently we're not tasty and we're a bit salty. They don't like us. And their reaction is a reflection of our initial reaction. So it's so important before you go out into the water to relax yourself and set a good energy out into the water, so you are not attracting a situation that you don't want. So if you have fear about going into an ocean, or if you are going out to compete and dominate and be, like surfing and catching the big wave, that's going to reflect out in the water. Everything is feeling your energy. And you've got to remember, these animals, like dolphins, whales, sharks, even little fish, big fish, little fish, they can understand a language that most of us cannot, or very few can. And, like they are picking up on how we're feeling. So, it's so beyond. It's so beyond. And Anna's ability is just incredible, a wonderful human being. So, yeah, where was I? Oops. Oh no, I've pressed that button again. Sorry. Hi, Johnny. Hi. Yes. Sarah says, 4:30 p.m. here, upstate New York, relaxing Friday, listening to Andalera. Oh, Sarah, you're so sweet. Hi, Sandy. Love you and your roses. Thank you. Tomboy says, how about olive seeds? That's been on my mind for a long time. Well, I don't have any olive seeds, but I've got a lot of olive flower on my olives right now, actually. My olives are going berserk. I love seeing them just flourish so much. Egg says, I collected all the roses I put on my altar and dry them. I have been inspired to use them for rituals to enhance self-love. Yes, they are the epitome of love. Thank you, Johnny. I am great. Ponderous says, the night sky above your garden must enrich it. I have watched that nighttime video 3 times, and it makes me incredibly happy. The dirt, the plants, the earth, the moon, my favorite. Oh, that's so nice. Would you be open to doing garden clips? I personally would love it, genuinely. I have got a lot of garden clips on my channel. I just don't know what they're titled, but there are some that I am sitting out in the garden. I would love to do a live stream in my garden, but the problem is that my Wi-Fi, when it is connected, I don't know how far I can actually stretch it without cutting off the live stream. I know I do get a little bit of Wi-Fi out there, but I'm frightened that it will cut the live stream. But maybe I could just do a separate video of sitting out actually I should do one sitting out in my garden in my roses and showing you how lovely it is right now. Tomboy said, I tried your Finezra soap last night. Love it. Thanks, Chooks. The reason why Tomboy has said thanks, Chooks, she's referring to my chickens, because the Finezra soap that I've made is an egg and ochre soap. And it's for an egg soap, it is the most lovely smelling soap. And I've used the eggs from my chickens. Mazik, love your henna. Thank you so much. Anuska, I'm so happy to see your bright face. I was feeling low about myself. This title made me smile. Oh, come together with love, and let's join. Oh, I'm so glad. She is amazing. Law of attraction. How do I live with someone who is a narcissist and loves fighting all the time and loves drama, but I don't? It's depleting my energy. I am spent. It's my parent, by the way. Well, again, if it's not serving you, I suggest you leave. You leave if you can, or you will have to create some boundaries in your home or in your bedroom, knocking before entering, and look, if someone is depleting your energy, don't let them. Don't be around them. And if they're in their mood or in their funk, then don't feed it. Don't feed it. And the way you would feed it is by reacting to it or responding to it. Shut it off, cut it off, let them go crazy, let them be dramatic. You don't have to respond to that. Don't feed an energy that you don't want to see or be around. And I know it's hard at times, but if you have the chance to have your own space, I would 100% suggest that you can find your own space. Somewhere comfortable, somewhere that you can condition, energetically speaking, and be away from them. I mean, if you're old enough to go out on your own, go out on your own. Don't be around that. Who wants to be around that? I certainly don't want to be around that. Even with my own family, like, I will say that, there are certain members of my family that, would definitely grate me in ways. I don't need to be around that. So, when I see them, everything's cordial. And if they do poke or flip out or if something happens, I don't even respond. I don't even be a part of it. And, it's you will be surprised at how it kind of diffuses the situation. The only reason it keeps perpetuating is if you fuel the fire. But you just, you get to a point where you just think, fucking really? Is this worth it? This is ridiculous. And you just choose not to be a part of it. So if you can, get out in your own space, make your own space, or move into a new space, then maybe you could do that. Oh, it's Tracy. Hi, Tracy. Hey, girl. Oh, hello, Athena. Hi, Mai. Oh, and she's sweet. I just woke up to this. Yeah. Right now, you can't afford it. Okay, well, set up a vision board. Set up a vision board of your own places that you'd love to live, and if you can approach it, when it comes to alchemy, if you can approach it in a way of instead of saying, oh, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this, and I need this in my life, I need this. That type of energy is only going to be reflective back to you. So, if you can just hold a love frequency, if you can imagine a place that makes you feel so much love and you think, oh, that feels good, that feels so nice, oh yeah, palm trees, oh, that feels so nice. If you can imagine a place that makes you feel good, and if you can then not counteract it by saying, oh, if only I had that, and oh, I want that place so bad. If you can just envelope yourself in that good feeling and not following it with, oh, I wish I had that, or I really want that, you will see how if you can hold that good, loving frequency, you're more likely to generate that manifestation, as opposed to, you automatically counteracting that. So when you have that good feeling, it's a bit like smelling a rose. You smell the rose, and that initial smell, the first whiff, it's just like, it's so heady and so loving and so, oh, it's just amazing. you know, but then if you have if you have a secondary thought or something, if you go to smell it again, it's never as good as the first time. So, you know, if you can, that probably wasn't a good example, but if you can get yourself into the love frequency. So what I'm saying is get yourself into the love frequency and maintain it without, you know, counteractive thoughts of, oh, if only I had this, and oh, I need this, and, you know, if you can maintain the love frequency without those thoughts, you will find that this manifestation, it's already there. It's already there, but you just have to match the frequency. You just have to match the frequency, and you can, you know, you can be anywhere. You can be anywhere. So it's just a matter of matching that manifestation, and because it's already done. It's already done. I get what you are saying, actually. Yes, I know I'm probably not making much sense, but I am, you know, the more you are in the love frequency, the more you only experience that in return, is basically what I'm trying to say. Yes, that's right. The world is a reflection of our collective internal state of being. The lockdowns, government encroaching our liberties, do we deserve it? Are we being punished? Well, you know, like, it is what you make of it. And like I've said before, the experience is very subjective to your state of being, and it's all a matter of perspective. I mean, I know that this is happening in the world, but this isn't my world. This isn't my world. I have not once worn a mask. And you know what? I would probably be in jail because I wouldn't wear a mask, because I don't want to get into this whole damn COVID thing, but I don't believe in it. I feel like there is so much more going on than what meets the eye. It's so much deeper. It's so much more than just a virus. Anyway, I wouldn't be wearing one because I'm not frightened of anything. I'm not frightened of nothing. So, you know, there's so much fear mongering going on in the world that it's sickening. Anyway, I don't want to get into that now, but your reality is subjective to the way you think, and my reality here is lovely. It's wonderful. So, and you know, and that's basically a reflection of the choices that I've made. So, you know, like, it's I have been unaffected. And you know what? The funny thing is, you know how when all that toilet paper thing was going on, I must have bought, like, you can get these toilet paper packets of like 24 rolls or something like that. I had a lot of toilet paper because I was kind of working with it. Working with it. I was kind of using it for some projects and things. I have had the same toilet paper since all before the COVID, all through the lockdown, all through the people going mad for the toilet paper, and even now. I still have that same stash of toilet paper that, you know, like, so, do you know what I mean? Like, I've still had the same toilet paper through all this entire ordeal. And, you know, like, I haven't had to go and buy any toilet paper, or I just, like, I just, this thing just does not affect me. There's so many things and so many situations going on in the world. I don't focus on this. Even if I read it, I don't even absorb it. It just passes through me, because I just know that viruses, they don't work like this, you know, and it's hard to. I'm not even going to get in. I don't even want to get into it. I don't want to get into it because it's just, it's going to leave me off in another tangent. But all I'm saying is that, you know, your reality is a result of the way that you think and the energy that you put out. And if you're experiencing something that you don't want, then all you can do is change it. And that's it. So anyway, look, I've been here for an hour now, and no, I'm not familiar with Magenta Pixie, Athena. So anyway, I think I'm gonna leave it now because I would like something to eat for breakfast, and I want to see where my chooks are. Hopefully they're laying some eggs, and I want to get out in my garden. Of course I want to get out in my garden. I've got to go and collect rose petals because every day there are new petals to collect. So every day I go out with a basket. I go out with a basket, and I collect rose petals. So, you know, like once, and see, even though I've cut these, there's a reason for why I've cut them. I'll be using the stems to propagate for cuttings afterwards. So after these are finished they bloom, I will take the rose petals and use them for grounding and drying. But everything is used here. Nothing goes to waste. Nothing goes to waste. So I didn't just cut them to look at them and to smell them. They will be used. So I want to go out and collect yesterday's rose petals because I didn't go out and do it. And I just want to go out. I want to go out and be busy in my garden. It gives me so much joy. And if there are those of you that feel they want some more, you want more joy and love in your life, then please start a garden. I can't stress to you enough how a garden can change your life, how it can, you know, it can just give you such a different perspective on living and health and insight, and it can teach you so much about yourself. Tomboy's off to make some bread. Oh, thanks, Athena. Your house looks so elegant. It really is beautiful. I wish I could do what you've done. You can do it, honey. And I'm not done yet. I mean, I've got to fix all the roof. The roof is a disaster. So anyway, that's another thing. But the most important thing is, you know, being happy, creating a life that you want for yourself, having simplicity in your life, realizing and recognizing the grandness of your being, that you are sovereign, you are divine, you are on par and you are equal to everything else in existence. We are not above anything else. We are not below anything else. We are just simply existing as we need to be. And so this is the most important thing, is just, what's the word? I mean, you know, kind of, you know, breaking down your life down to its core fundamentals, and then building it in a harmonious and beautiful way. So anyway, if you do want to have an enriched life, I would suggest growing a garden, and it takes patience. It can be challenging at times, but oh look, once you start, you will never look back. You will never look back. So anyway, people of Earth, I love you. Thank you so much for joining me for this little impromptu live stream. You know how sporadic I am with these, but I'm going to go now. So I send you my love. I send you my blessings wherever you are in the world, and may you always be blessed by the supreme truth and love of the cosmos. Know that you are a sovereign divine being, and recognize the grandness that you are. I love you guys. Take care. Have a beautiful day or night wherever you are.